starts to emerge kind of around here. If you don't know the people in the negotiation, during the course of your meeting, you might have conflict. Conflict is one of the best ways I know to build trust. Really weird. It's a kind of a contradiction. If I've had a fight with someone, or if I've kind of had a good argument with somebody, I know who they are. I see we say in English, I see him on his metal. You know, I see him in his military gear. I see who he really is. I see what kind of a guy he really is. If I've had a fight with him, and I know then, it gives me a basis of respect. It's an opportunity for respect, to win respect, and also to give respect, and it also builds trust. Conflict does not come, trust does not come out of happy families. You know, trust is not, here we are, all friends being here now, isn't it lovely? You know, that's not trust. That's that series that we saw on the TV called The Office. Was that kind of trust. Real trust comes from disagreement, open, frank exchange of views. Okay, it's a kind of a paradox. So, but the way in which conflict is expressed and the way it's erred is also quite an interesting thing. Essentially, only one person can be angry in a negotiation, and you should make sure that it's not you. Showing your feelings to a certain extent depends on how much you trust people. Okay. There was a situation in the 70s where Mr. Nikita Khrushchev, the leader of the Soviet Union, was in the United Nations with he took his shoe off and he's banging his shoe on the table, really angry. He was blue with anger, you know. And there's a situation described in the handout that you've got where Bill Richardson, the negotiator for America, is in, I think he's in Nigeria, and he's just going to start the negotiation, and a general jumps up on the table and starts shouting at him and screaming at him, you know, je suis pas un thug. I don't like America calling me a thug.
The general is
one of the generals, a Nigerian general, Abacha. I remember
Abacha?
Abacha?
Yeah. He was our former president.
Okay, there's Abacha,
died.
and Abacha had a general, or it might have been Abacha.
But he was a former general. He was a general.
Okay, well, I think I'll need to check on my details on that. But there was, it was either Abacha or it was Abacha's general was on the table, and he's spitting and shouting at Bill Richardson. Okay, now Bill Richardson's in a suit. He doesn't have any army with him. He's got no soldiers with him. He's not weaponed. He's not carrying a gun. And there's guys like all around the room with AK-47s, you know, under the control of this general. The general's got a gun on his hip, and he's shouting his head off at Bill Richardson, you know. So what do you do when someone's angry, when someone's being really aggressive like that, right? Bill Richardson, according to the report you've got, right, he turns to the president while the guy is spitting at him, and he says, I don't think he likes me very much. You know, the president starts laughing because it's outrageous. You know, it's ridiculous. The guy could kill him. He just, you know, he could easily do that. But the president starts laughing. Okay, and then the president says, "Okay, you know, well, I've forgotten the guy's name now, but okay, we get the message. Sit down." And then he turns. Then he's mates with Richardson. So in other words, when someone does get angry, it's an opportunity for you either to win some respect, okay? It's also an opportunity for you to get information as well. So when you're in this, you're in this chaos phase here, the thing is moving. When there's serious conflict, when people get upset, first thing people do when they get angry is they go to the extremes. Okay, they become what's called protopathic. Right? In other words, everything suddenly becomes all bad or all good, all black or all white, all right or all wrong. They go to the extremes. First thing people do when they get upset, they lose their critical faculties. They can't make a judgment anymore. It's either one thing or the other, okay? Protopathic. So don't try to deal with that by being reasonable, okay? What you should do when someone is doing that is you should actually, you've got two of these, you hunker down and you listen to what they're saying, what they're shouting at you, and then you paraphrase it back to them. You say back to them in a very kind of gentle way, whoa, Harry. So what I'm hearing, Harry, am I hearing you right? You're getting upset because of this, this, and this. So in other words, you show Harry that you're hearing what he's saying, okay? By repeating it back very gently to him, right? What I'm hearing you say is this, this, and this. Is that right, Harry? And you'll see Harry kind of looking at you in a kind of a funny way because he's not used to people listening to him. None of us are, okay? And you say, Harry, I don't understand why you're getting so kind of worked up about this, you know? And then you see Harry, well, if you knew this new guy who's just coming into our firm, if I go back to him with that kind of agreement, I'm dead, Robin. You know, Harry, I'm really sorry. Who's this new guy? I didn't know about this guy. You know, tell me about him. Oh, it's a new guy who's coming into the division, blah, 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 blah. It's not official yet, but so in other words, when people get upset or get angry, not only do they become protopathic, they also give away information. They're also they're more likely to say things they wouldn't say if they were cool. That's why I say only one person can be angry. Make sure it's not you. And how you conduct yourself in the face of an angry man or an angry woman is an opportunity for you to win respect from everybody else, including people on their side. So you see that kind of thing happening in a negotiation as an opportunity. It's an opportunity to win information, and it's an opportunity for you to show everybody just what you're made of. So we've got silence, we've got questioning, and, as you very rightly put in your paper, listening, paraphrase. Paraphrasing is saying back to someone what you've just heard them say. It's also called active listening. So you've got three very powerful weapons there. You've got silence, you've got questioning, and you've got active listening. And they are very perturbing. I think we've certainly got the perturbed stage pretty well nailed down. The system is there'll be lots of disagreements, etc., but eventually, if you have certain rules, like we agree to disagree, or people will not leave until we've found an agreement or whatever, so you can actually set the rules at the beginning here, because you know you're going to go through this phase, right? And then, but then new ideas and so on will start to emerge. You listen to people, chords will strike, and so on and so forth.